What if I told you that your relationship with exercise starts long before you even set foot in a gym? My journey with fitness wasn't always filled with discipline and motivation. It all began with my childhood, where exercise was a part of my life in ways I didn't even realize. As a kid, I actually did quite a bit of sports. And for the longest time, I didn't think I was very active. For some reason, I didn't think I was an active kid, but I recently realized I used to play a ton of sports. I played basketball, I went swimming, I played volleyball. We also had physical education in school. What baffles me sometimes is thinking, how did I get to being so unathletic, unfit, and unhealthy? See, my relationship with exercise really did start in school. How I felt about exercise, what I was thinking when I was going to school and doing these exercises. Like, don't get me wrong, when we had to do the 10, 10, and 10, it was like 10 burpees, 10 push-ups, 10 seconds of running or sprinting or something like that. And that shit's fucking sucked. And that's what I remember thinking. So of course, my reality of how to be fit and be in fitness is skewed by that, because I had a negative outlook on what I was doing. But I actually quite thoroughly enjoyed PE. I enjoyed playing sports. I played volleyball 1 year in middle school. Had a coach, and that coach actually was the reason my parents were able to build a house. So it was great that I did it. But then I got more into basketball than volleyball. Basketball really became the game I played. I joined the middle school team for basketball, but I also ended up joining a league. And within that league of basketball that I was playing in, I literally had the opportunity to play against different teams. The first year was a lot of fun, but I never viewed myself as growing or getting better at the game. I didn't think about it that way. That wasn't the way I was taught in order to train. I wasn't training, I was just doing it for fun. I kind of wish there was some competition behind it, an actual thought of like I should be practicing, but it just wasn't what I was being taught or told. The second year I played, I don't think anyone can ever say this. This accident happened while I was playing, and I was checking one of the best players in this game. The team was clearly better than us. We were losing terribly. I decided I was going to check this guy. The ball just turned over, and he's trying to duke me out. And as a kid, I was a sturdy fucking kid. My defense was sturdy. But this kid was like trying to do all the cool tricks and try and duke me out, and I was not moving. And I literally was. I was an immovable object, and he collided with me. We both slammed faces into each other. He ended up having to go to the hospital because I dented his face. Oh, and I consider it a bit of a joke, but at the same time, it probably was incredibly scary for him, for that kid. Because the fact that he had to go to the hospital because we collided and my face dented him, literally dented him, that he had to go to the hospital. And next time we saw him to play a game, he had to wear a face shield to protect his face. So because of that, I know I'm laughing, but it's unfortunate that sort of situation happened. Surprisingly, that wasn't the reason why my relationship with exercise was flawed or scared off. For the longest time, a lot of it was me just playing video games that really switched it for me. Because I was playing basketball and playing in that league, eventually I grew out of it. Because I didn't have that understanding or thought of progression, I ended up going towards video games because that's what it actually literally did. I had a visual representation constantly about how much I was leveling up, how much I was getting better at the game. There was an actual thing showing me getting better. Where with basketball and sports, I never knew to look for it, never understood that. And I think that was a big reason why I drifted over to video games over playing sports or staying physically active. Because as it furthered along, my dad had a little home gym, and it'd constantly feel like a chore to try and use the home gym. Yeah. I was inspired to do it or pushed to do it a few times, like, why aren't you exercising or whatever it may be, but I didn't understand at the time the importance of it. Didn't see the progression in the way I could understand. And video games was what it took that from me. I saw the progression through games instead of sports, which honestly started leading me down a path that made me quite miserable. I thought I was happy, but I really wasn't. It really did take a while for me to realize the importance of exercise. When I did learn about it, what I needed to do and get into it as a regular habit, it changed my life once again. It's wild to see what is truly possible when you see the progress when you go to the gym, when you see that progress change. The first time I saw myself change in that way was literally the first 30 days I tried doing V-Shredded as a program, because I was seeing the ads, and that's what inspired me to just go for it. I bought their program, as shitty as they are, and I did notice the change. But of course, my job was my biggest excuse. And even though I tried to, it really wasn't until months after that I really got into it and went 100% all in. And when I went 100% all in to my fitness, it changed my life. It changed everything I can understand. And my relationship of fitness switched on a dime. It really all was that. It took doing something like that to make it happen, to change the experience. So I hope this helps you realize something really kind of interesting about yourself. If you were able to take some time to also reflect about your own life, because how you see exercise greatly impacts you in a lot of different ways. And it greatly impacted me. I want to hear people's stories here, because when it comes to exercise, what was the biggest thing that was a struggle for you? Or are you at the beginning of your journey, trying to get into a fitness journey and trying to get the ball rolling? What is holding you back from getting started? Is it you're listening to your inner bitch? Because my inner bitch, his name is Ned. I had to deal with him, I had to break him, because I had to become the cryo champion here. Are you the one listening to Ned and being lazy and not taking action? Or are you being more like the cryo champion, who goes after what he wants, chases his dreams, does what he needs to do to get healthy, because being healthy is super important? Finally lose that first 20 pounds, or if you want to lose 60 pounds, or whatever the goal is, that you're actively taking action to make it happen. All I suggest start doing if you're in that beginner stage, reflect on your own experience with fitness. It may be gruesome, it may be terrible, it may be traumatizing even, but look at it as a place to grow. So I hope you liked the video. Please drop a like and subscribe to follow for more, and I hope to see you guys all in the next one.